one of his current pollsters, I forget the guy's name, but it starts with an F, said the reason that Donald Trump lost, when you look at exit polls from Republicans after they voted, was that they said they had no more trust in Donald Trump. All the people in 2016 that voted for Donald Trump didn't vote for Donald Trump on the Republican side in 2020. That's why he lost. Has nothing to do with fraud, and it has everything to do with that Donald Trump is a fraud. That's what it has to do. But they need to create a boogeyman, just like they need the Haitians to be a boogeyman, because these people operate not off facts, not off evidence, not off logic, not off critical thinking, but off fear. Fear, 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 all day long. That's it. This video, I've only watched about 20 seconds of it, but I can tell you that this video, it embodies what I'm saying about the insanity of Trump and the Trump campaign, and why, if you have even a question of whether or not Trump or Kamala are worse for America, that I don't know what to say anymore. I got nothing left. I'm running out of words, and for me to run out of words, that's a fucking spectacle to behold, okay? There's not a single person that's ever met me that would ever tell you that I run out of words. I have the best words, the most amazing words.
This is a message from the U.S. government. No, not the fake commie pet-eating government. The one that actually won in 2020. And now, after winning 2 elections and all of his own golf tournaments, President Trump is running for a 3rd term. So suck shit, childless cat ladies. Trump 24.
Like, tell me, there's not, like, so far there's 0. This is as far as I watched into this. There is nothing that she has said in this video that is not true so far. Nothing. They claim people are eating the pets. He claims he wins all his golf tournaments. They talked about the childless cat ladies. They call them all commies. Like, at this point, you should be like, well, I mean, she is exaggerating some stuff, right? No! Like, everything she said so far has happened. It's insane. Oh, God. I don't know who this lady is.
Childless cat ladies. Trump 24. During his 2nd term in...
Golf says, am I on timeout? No, you're not on timeout, Golf. I just, I can't see everything everybody is saying all the time. You guys talk, so that's good. I'm glad you guys talk. Yeah, you're not on... Golf, I'd never put you on timeout, Golf. I mean, I can't say never. You are a Marine. There's probably at least one point in my life where I'll be like, Golf? I know Marines.
During his 2nd term in office, President Trump has been working tirelessly from the Orange House, blocking border security legislation, praising dictators, praising billionaires for firing workers, dissing our military, and flying around in the pedo jet. But most importantly, tackling the greatest threat of all at the coming election, voter fraud. Sure, there's no evidence of widespread voter fraud in our election, as countless officials, security agencies, courts, report, even...
Dude, tell me. Like, this is a distillation of how many months do you think this is? Not even, right? Like, this is like just a distillation of like the last 30 days. Might be a month and a half, might be 2 months. We have gotten through 45 seconds and we have listed off an insane amount of stuff in the first fucking 45 seconds. Yeah, Nightbot might actually, like, stop some of your comments, just so you guys know. Nightbot does clip you guys for certain words. Because I can't moderate.
Even our own security agency, court, report, even our own report, even our buddy, even the conservative Supreme Court stacked with Trump appointees have repeatedly stated, heck, even we don't believe our bullshit about voter fraud. But we desperately need enough of you to believe it, so that you'll help us stop the steal at the coming election. Cause you see, we know we can't win elections the old-fashioned way. You know, by getting the most votes. We haven't won the popular vote in 2 decades.
Dude.
So we need your help to stop people voting against.
Real talk. They haven't won the popular vote in 2 decades. That is so crazy. Look at those numbers, too. George Bush over Al Gore, 271, 266. Fucking Florida. George Bush over Kerry. That's a much better margin. That was from the swift voting. Kerry got swift voted. They tried to do that shit to Tim Walz this year. Didn't work out so well for him. Look at poor John McCain. Look at these two right here. Barack Obama, look, I wasn't a big fan of the corporate interest bullshit. I think Obama did a good job. I think he had a tough job to do. I think he did a good job. I'm never a fan of drone strikes, so, even when I can agree that certain ones are necessary, I still don't agree with what's happening. But damn, son, the one thing you have to give Barack Obama, like, without a doubt, 365 to 173, that's like a first-round knockout. And then to follow that shit up with a 332 to 206, like, that's like two first-round knockouts in one night. Like, that's like Barack Obama was like, done, next, bring him in, bow. That is so crazy. Yeah, they did swift boat, they swift bias, but they also did swift boat McCain as well. Am I even an independent? That's a good question. Maybe I should take that political test, Trinidad. I think maybe I should take a. The question is, are you an independent? Well, I almost got caught. I'm supposed to take the other side of the argument. I'm the independent. You're not. Right? Isn't that what I'm supposed to do? That's what I'm gonna go with. All right. Where were we? Sorry, I got distracted. I'm gonna make me and Trinidad both take the
we
political
haven't won
test.
the popular vote in 2 decades, so we need your help to stop people voting against us. That's why we recruited thousands of our
100%.
fraud-filled minions to launch mass challenges of voter registration via our app, which is purging unknown numbers of legitimate voters from our voter rolls.
Dude.
Screw the vote. And
747,000 voters in North Carolina removed from the rolls. Like, I don't have a problem if that's legit. Like, this is like my whole thing is, for sure, if they showed that was legit, understandable. But that's the kind of stuff that, like I said, even when Trump was doing it and going behind the scenes and, like, going through the election fraud and stuff to fine-tooth comb, I have zero problem with people looking into, on either side, left or right, whether or not the things that are going on are legitimate or not. That's a lot of people to be removing from the voter rolls, man. 750,000
it's
people?
why we've all our voter rolls. Screw the vote. And it's why we've also introduced a raft of new vote suppression laws like this, and this. Also this. Lots of this. And a shit ton of these, which we say are to stop voter fraud, but actually just stop people who tend to vote against us. I mean, illegally. Yep. And here we have to thank our friends at SCOTUS for eviscerating the Voting Rights Act, which is what enabled all these vote suppression laws. SCOTUS! But that's just the tip of the shitberg. Fear of non-existent voter fraud is also at the heart of our brand new plan to grab this election by the pussy on Election Day. Introducing our Precinct Strategy. Overseen by the Supreme Shitlord of the Megasphere, the Precinct Strategy.
Dude. And for anybody out there that's like, Donald Trump actually wouldn't, like, put a bunch of people. He had Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon was in his cabinet. He had his kids. Don Jr.'s coked out ass was running around. Like, for all the shit you guys give Joe Biden didn't have Hunter Biden, like, on the fucking, in the cabinet, like, going to Saudi Arabia, making deals and shit like that. Like, he had Don, he had Ivanka, he had Eric. Like, his whole goddamn family was, like, running the Orange House. I'm going to call it the Orange House from now on, too. Because, like, that's actually what it was. Because didn't he not, like, actually stay in the White House? Wasn't he always, like, in Mar-a-Lago? So, yeah, I'm going to call it the Orange House from now on. Dude, insane.
Overseen by the Supreme Shitlord of the Megasphere, the Precinct Strategy entails signing up our fraud-filled army to be poll workers at the local precinct level, where votes are counted.
We're taking this back village by village, precinct by precinct.
Dude, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Probably shouldn't even sound as tape, but I usually vote by mail-in, but this year, just to, like, tempt the motherfucker, I'm like, I kind of want to just go vote in person. If I do, we record that. All right, like, dude, yeah, like people. Hey, calm the fuck down with this. You're gonna go to the poll and you're gonna get in people's faces and stuff and watch them, make sure they're not doing anything illegal. Like, brother, you can get your hip broken. All right, like, you gotta be careful. Like, don't think that every liberal out there has never been in a fight. Okay, only every liberal. You got Gulf Marines ass over here. All right. You think that there ain't no, like, ex-military liberals? You don't think that there's no liberals that are in MMA? You don't think that, like, dude, you best be careful. You're going to end up in a rear naked choke on the internets, okay? That's the last thing that you need in your life, is to be somebody's uncle or grandpa or nephew getting choked out at a poll by somebody that you've been calling a liberal cuck for the last 4 years, talking shit about him. And now you viral on the internet as you go, Y'all ever seen a dude try to tap out in a real fight? That shit's like the funniest thing I've ever seen. People will watch so much MMA in their life nowadays that, like, a dude will literally be in a street fight, another dude will have him in a guillotine holding him up, and the dude will start tapping. Spoiler alert, guys. There's no referee on the streets, all right? You start tapping, that motherfucker ain't letting go. So how about just stay at home, guys. Don't be going to polls and watching what I'm doing on my vote, because that shit might get you in some trouble. Just gonna throw that warning out there.
We're taking this back village by village, precinct by precinct, and they can't stop it.
Yep, the guy who committed actual fraud against thousands of our supporters has recruited thousands of our supporters to find imaginary fraud. And on election day, they'll be out
Fucking
challenging
true.
voters.
You got to contest every ballot.
And reporting the fraud to our hotline of lawyers, who'll then use the evidence to launch a barrage of lawsuits in precincts
To stall
across
the
the
election.
nation,
Yeah.
creating the
they
impression
can't
of
actually follow
widespread
through.
voter fraud. Which brings us to the final part of our plan, which we like to call total fucking chaos. Total fucking chaos is the goal, as that will allow officials to declare a perfectly normal election rigged. It didn't work
Good.
last time due to uncooperative officials.
This is funny, but this is 100% true. Like, people don't understand that the fake elector, what they're going for, the fake elector scheme, wasn't to, like, Donald Trump just, they go in there, they go, Donald Trump actually is the real president, and then Donald Trump gets to be the president. Nah, the Eastman memo has, like, 7 steps where it's like, what's the most potential way to cause confusion and chaos, so that way we can use certain rules or go around, like, the Electoral Act, do certain things like push it back to governors, because there's more Republican governors than there were Democrat governors at that time. It's about chaos. It's not a 1-for-1. This isn't some kind of clean plan where Donald Trump just we go, oh, it turns out Biden wasn't the winner, Donald Trump is, Donald Trump's now the president. No, the fake elector scheme was meant to create chaos, and they had 4 years to think about how to do it better. This is what actually makes this scary. They've had 4 years to figure out what they did wrong. They've had 4 years to put people in places in government to make it go more smoothly this time. It's insane. We should watch. There's a good movie out on the January 6th thing with Roger Stone and the guy who started Stop the Steal. The word Stop the Steal came from Roger Stone, but the actual movement comes from a guy that was a follower of Roger Stone. And we should watch that movie sometime. I'll get the link for you guys.
But this time will be the normal election rigged. It didn't work last time due to uncooperative officials. But this time will be the officials, as we've also taken over election boards.
We're taking over all the elections. Suck on this.
Our friends at SCROTUS can then step in to decide the election outcome like they did in 2000. Or throw the decision to a congressional vote. Either way,
you go.
a douche
That's
wins
what I
a
was talking
second,
about.
third term. And if that doesn't work, Fuck it. It's Civil War time. The only thing that can stop all this is if enough of you are ready for the total fucking chaos and can keep calm until all the votes are legally counted. So don't share this video with everyone you know. And don't go to this website to check that we haven't purged you from the voter roll. Or this website, which lists all the new laws we've passed to make it harder to vote. All the links are in the video description. Do not click them.
Dope.
Cause remember, America, our elections are deeply unfair because of this. And this. And because of this shitty voting system that enshrines a two-party duopoly, but not due to voter fraud. That's just something we made up to exploit your legitimate desire.
And this is going back to the illegal immigration thing, too. It's like, so when you can't convince people through actual, like, legitimate means that the system is unfair, instead you create this fear. So instead of just saying, like, the Electoral College is kind of bullshit, and, you know, things like Citizens United and money being involved in our politics is kind of bullshit. Dark money, the Chamber of Commerce, look into the Powell memo. All of those things are kind of bullshit. But you can show people, like, look, I can trace it back to this thing, that this is evidence. This is proof that this thing is happening. Instead, what you have to do for them on their side is create a boogeyman. You have to say, just like the Haitians, just like immigration, just like the people coming across the border. It's like, no, can I like actually show you that any of those things are actually happening? No, you just have to trust me that you should be scared. You should be fearful. Same thing goes for voter fraud. It's like, oh, okay, so you guys believe all these things happened. Okay, can we have a third party investigate them? Not even the government. Let's have Ken Block go and investigate that. Who was paid by Donald Trump to investigate that? Ken Block comes back, says, hey, actually, it looks like there wasn't a bunch of voter fraud. There are some incomplete information. There is some incomplete information in our voter system that needs to be cleaned up. For sure, we should be doing that. That's the thing that he points to, that he's like, that stuff is bad, and we need to fix that. But that's not enough. So the stuff he proved wasn't enough to cause enough fear. Like, it should be something that Trump supporters would be like, oh, he said there was a lot of dirty data, and it should be fixed. And I would agree with you. I'm like, yeah, actually, there is a bunch of stuff that's like improperly entered. The fact that the voting system defaults to the year like 1900 if a birth date is put in incorrectly or not at all. Like, those things that he pointed out, you would think Trump supporters would actually be like, well, look, that is like proof that there is a problem. But the problem is that it doesn't amount to enough evidence to legitimately hold water. It doesn't like mean that the whole election was bad, that there's rampant fraud that caused Donald Trump to lose. No, at the end of the day, that dude and Donald Trump's like current pollster, one of his current pollsters, I forget the guy's name, but it starts with an F, said the reason that Donald Trump lost, when you look at exit polls from Republicans after they voted, was that they said they had no more trust in Donald Trump. All the people in 2016 that voted for Donald Trump didn't vote for Donald Trump on the Republican side in 2020. That's why he lost. It has nothing to do with fraud, and it has everything to do with that Donald Trump is a fraud. That's what it has to do. But they need to create a boogeyman, just like they need the Haitians to be a boogeyman, because these people operate not off facts, not off evidence, not off logic, not off critical thinking, but off fear. Fear, 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 all day long. That's it.
Fraud. That's just something we made up to exploit your legitimate desire for fair elections to help us rat fuck this one. Trump 24. Now get to work, patriots. This election isn't gonna steal itself, you pieces of shit.
I love this.
Authorized by the Department for the Prevention of Pet Eating and Transgender Operations on Illegal Aliens in Prisons.
Mar-a-Lago. Dude. That was amazing. I've never seen these people before.